gentlemen, I can assure you this: you've come to the right place. Because on Heartbeat, that is our business. That is our creed. We're going to take a short musical break. When we come back, we're going to continue from where we stopped yesterday and dive straight into the topic of the day. And of course, we're going to open up the phone lines to you out there for you to call in and share your thoughts. So keep your dial locked. Don't go anywhere because we will be right back. But tonight, I'm going to continue from where we stopped. We've been talking about emotional needs in a relationship, and we've been identifying them and talking about them for a few days now. Excuse me. Emotional needs in a relationship, especially when it concerns marriages. There are key things to help that relationship grow, to help your marriage be stronger. And some of these emotional needs are some of the things that are not being met, which can cause a break or rift in your marriage. The first one we mentioned was sexual fulfillment. And we talked about how important it is, that connection, that intimate connection with your partner when it comes down to sexuality. We also talked about yesterday, we talked about affection. And we tried to define the difference between affection and sexual fulfillment. We talked about how affections are those physical things, those little physical things you do towards showing your love and your emotions to your partner. We're talking about things like hugging, things like kissing, hand holding, eye contact. We talked about how important it is, especially if that is your core emotional need, because not everybody is, let's say, affectionate in that regards, but some people are, and some people find it very important in their relationships. Yesterday, we sort of mentioned what we're going to talk about today. I kind of gave you a hint, but tonight we're going to go into it deeply. Tonight, we're going to talk about another emotional need in a relationship, and that is intimate conversations. Now, this need is key, especially for people who are more swayed by what they hear than what they see. Or even, because what you deposit, what you talk about, what you share with your partner, how you communicate with your partner through not just talking. I'm talking about intimate conversations, detailed conversations between spouses, husband and wife. Those times to share love and to share your ideas and your thoughts. This is what I'm talking about tonight. Now, the need for conversation can honestly be met by anybody. You can have a conversation with anybody on the planet. But tonight, what we're talking about is the need for intimate conversation. And this need should be exclusively be met by your partner, especially in a marriage. Now, the truth is, for some people, this is the most important need, emotional need. Some people don't see it that way. But if you're the type of people or person I'm talking about tonight that values that time and conversation you spend with your partner, or maybe you're not, you should consider this now. You see, if you're someone, of course, who values intimate conversations, and maybe you're not getting that intimate conversation from your partner, and maybe you get it from outside, somebody is meeting that need, you're having that deep, intimate conversation with someone who is not your spouse, someone who's outside the marriage. Now, that person has your attention, and that person can easily have your heart, because when you're having that conversation, as you're having those deep, intimate conversations, it's sort of like an emotional bank. And then each conversation is sort of like a deposit. Like you're depositing, let's say, love units. Let's put it that way. That person's depositing love units into your heart, into your soul. And you also tend to grow that affection and feeling towards that person. That's why sometimes you have a marriage where, yes, you're married, you have that, you have that contract with your partner, but then you're emotionally separated. You're emotionally let go. You're emotionally divorced from your partner because that intimacy is being shared with another person. It doesn't necessarily mean physical. I'm not talking about physical relations. I'm talking about emotional connectivity. Some people may say, oh, well, I'm not cheating. I didn't sleep around. But then when you're not, because a marriage is something that is an intimate bond between a husband and a wife, between spouses. When you're not sharing that intimacy with your partner, you might as well, it's tantamount to being cheated on. It's tantamount to being unfaithful to your partner. So you see, if that is your need, if that's your need of your partner, that intimate conversation, it is crucial for the happiness, for your maternal or your marital happiness, that your spouse be the one to meet that need. Now, the need for intimate conversation is not met by simply just talking to someone, like we've said. It's met when it's met when the intimate conversation, when that need meets certain criteria. Now, intimate conversation can be characterized by the following. Let me give you some few characteristics that can characterize intimate conversation. 1, using it to inform and investigate each other. 2, focusing attention on topics of mutual interest. 3, balancing that conversation, the conversation, so both parties, that's you and your spouse, have equal opportunity to talk, to express yourselves. And of course, 4, giving each other undivided attention while talking to each other. Talking and listening, responding, receiving. These are the things that characterize intimate conversation. So it's not just about how you did you wake up, what did you eat? No, it goes beyond that. This kind of conversation goes beyond that, especially when it comes to marriage or with your partner. Now, intimate conversations, when it fails to meet this criteria, these 4 criteria that we just listed, now there's certain side effects to it, and one of them, or one of the things that make it fail, is maybe demands are made. An intimate conversation does not entail you demanding something or asking for something. That doesn't make up the crux of an intimate conversation. Or maybe your disrespect is shown. You don't respect your partner doesn't respect you, your conversation is hostile. That's not intimate. One or both of you might even come out angry from said conversation. You see, an intimate conversation should be informative. It should be levitating. It should be light. It should be I don't want to use the word light. It should be more collaborative. You should feel like you've come away from something with this conversation. But if you're walking away, maybe your partner is walking away angry, or you're walking away angry, that kind of defeats the purpose of an intimate conversation. Or maybe when it's used to dwell on mistakes from the past or the present, you use it as a form of belittling your partner or playing the blame game. That kills that idea of an intimate conversation. You see, useless conversations like this, of course, they just kill and erode your relationship. Or even a regular conversation. A regular conversation can, of course, be mutually enjoyable, but it can be mutually enjoyable by both parties. It can also make it can make good conversation of day to day, but it doesn't define itself as an intimate one. Now, a conversation makes you, when you come out of it, you come out feeling refreshed. It's like a breath of fresh air. That when you have a mutual or an intimate conversation, it feels pleasant. It feels light. Like there's levity. Like you come away better together, even with a deeper bond and stronger with one another. But an unpleasant conversation not only fails to meet that emotional need of intimate conversations, but it also makes you feel less likely that there will be an opportunity to meet that need in the future. It erodes and chews away at your relationship. You see, The reason why is because we tend to prevent our spouses from meeting our needs if an earlier attempt was maybe painful. What does that mean? Maybe an earlier attempt towards an intimate conversation was met, it didn't go so well. It's less likely that you have the same opportunity given to you to have that conversation again. Whoever it didn't go well for will be more inclined to pull away, will be more inclined to shield their heart and shield themselves from that painful experience. You see, men and women don't have too much difficulty in talking to each other. Of course, this is during courtship. It's easy. You know, you have those conversations for hours. You talk on hours on the phone. You love hearing that's when you hear things like, I love hearing the sound of your voice. Tell me more about you. And the reason why is because in that time, especially when it's time for courtship or dating, it's a time for information gathering for both parties. You see, both the man and the woman are, of course, highly motivated to discover each other's likes, each other's dislikes. You want to know about that person's personal background, maybe what interests them, what are their plans for the future, etc., things like that. But after marriages, after marriage, many women find that, of course, their men, their husbands, who they used to spend hours and hours talking with, maybe on the telephone or sharing dreams and things like that. Now it seems like maybe he's lost that interest. It seems like that conversation, it's dead in the water. There's no more interesting talk. There's no more interesting conversation. Maybe he just wants to sit down and watch TV or read a newspaper or read a book. Because the reason why this comes up is because when it comes to marriage, it feels sometimes we tend to forget that marriage takes time. It takes energy to build. You have to always constantly water that garden for the seed to bloom, to grow, to learn new things about one another. And we become complicit. It becomes like by the numbers. We wake up, we do this, and that's it. You don't even share those intimate times of talking because you feel you've known or seen everything back and forth of that person and there's nothing new. You see, if your need for intimate conversation was fulfilled during courtship, you also will expect that need to be met after marriage. That is key. That is standard. And if you fell in love, let's say you fell in love because of your need for intimate conversation was met by your spouse during maybe your courtship, you risk falling out of love if that need is not being met during marriage, because you will seek one thing about intimate conversation. If you're not getting it within your marriage, you'll try and seek it outside. You'll try and seek that solace from outside. So, do you fall under this category? Or maybe your spouse or your partner falls under this category of the need for intimate conversation. You just want to pick up that telephone and call somebody and talk. Maybe you're not meeting, that need is not being met in your marriage, in your union, and you just want to do that. Or maybe you as a partner, as a spouse, are not meeting that need for your partner. There's a need for you to make that extra effort to go beyond and meet that person's need, or even for you yourself to open yourself up to bring in your partner, to let them know how you feel so that this need can be met. Because marriage is not about the physical connection, it's about that emotional, intimate connection. And the way to keep it alive is with intimate conversation. That's why this is one of the most important needs in a marriage, in a relationship. Intimate conversation between both parties, both spouses. Every day we change, every day we grow. Something new happens even though the only constant thing they say in this life is change, we change. As a couple, as a marriage, as a unit, you want to grow together, you want to change together. not each person, not each branch growing off on its own. Till one day you turn over and you look at your partner and it seems like you're with a stranger. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy to engage your partner in those intimate conversations, because those are the things that keep the glue and keep the love alive in your relationship. So if you're out there, and I want you to ask yourself, what was the last time I had just an intimate conversation, the way I used to talk to my wife? When was the last time I actually sat down and had this conversation with her? Not how is your day? Did you eat? What happened with the kids? But an intimate, detailed conversation, the type you used to have when you were courting. Remember those times, savor those times, and always inculcate it in your life so that to reinforce that bond between you and your spouse when it comes to communication, because communication is key towards growing and nurturing your marriage or your relationship. This is still Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. We're going to take a short musical break, of course. When we come back, we're going to continue this conversation and, of course, open up the phone lines to you out there for you to call in and share your thoughts. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Let me apologize to begin with.
101.1 FM. And of course, my name still remains Bucci. And like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. Tonight, we've been talking about intimate communication. Intimate communication when it comes to or comes down to an emotional need in a marriage, in a relationship. And we highlighted on how important it is, especially if this is your core emotional need, and how tantamount it is towards extending and enhancing the longevity of your union with your spouse. Of course, right now we're going to open up the phone lines to you out there for you to call in and share your thoughts about maybe even maybe the topic we spoke about this evening. Like we always say on this program, no man is an island of knowledge. No man is a library of knowledge. You can call in and share your thoughts, add your own contribution to what we've talked about. You can also call in and reach out to that very special person, that person you call your heartbeat, to let them know how special, how truly special and truly loved they are by you. Or maybe you're a troubled heart this evening with questions, and you're looking for answers and solutions to those matters of the heart that are troubling you this evening. Feel free to call in. The number still remains 081 8999 1011. I'll take it again. 081 8999 1011. Who's going to be my lucky first caller this evening? Hello, good evening.
Hello?
Hello, good evening, my brother.
Good evening. This is Justin on the line.
This is who?
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you. Could you please speak up a little louder, please?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
This is Justin on the line, calling from Jack.
Justin on the line, right? Is that what you said?
Justin.
Okay, where are you calling me from, my brother?
Calling from Jack.
Jabi, how's Jabi this morning or this evening?
Very fine, very
All right, talk to me. Could you speak up a little louder so I can hear you properly, please?
very.
All right.
I'm having a little problem that I've been trying to get in touch with you this week.
Okay.
I'm not one of the lost.
All right.
But the little problem that I'm having is that I'm having with them.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Hope you are listening to me.
Yes, but could you please speak up a little louder? Could you speak up a little louder?
I'm having a girl.
Aha, thank you. Mm-hmm.
One of my friends introduced me to one girl.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I came from Ghana. Just come and one of
Mm-hmm.
us. We are going back to Ghana. But that my friend introduced that girl. Maybe let it be. Are you getting me, sir?
Oh, wait, let me understand this. You have a problem with a girl. Your friend introduced you to a girl that you met here in town, and you're going back and okay, so continue. Let me continue. Let me see if I can pick this up.
Before coming to Abuja,
Mm-hmm.
we talked to each other. We just talk that I'm doing girl.
Okay.
Almost 2 or 3 days before coming back and go to lab or everybody just talk.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, I have now been calling her number,
Mm.
but the number is not stable.
Okay.
Only that I have. But I now called my friend.
Mm.
That my friend that introduced me to that girl.
Mm-hmm.
That please, I have been calling you so frequently. The phone is not stable. Please help me to go and get in touch with her and tell her that I've been calling her. Maybe you can just call me so that I can just talk to her on your phone.
Okay.
And my friend, what I asked. But unfortunately, when I now called my friend, when my friend called the girl is now telling me that you don't have time for him to talk now.
Okay.
And somehow, when it's half time, he's going to call me, he's going to that that was just. But this evening, I now called another person. Not every same girl that I've been trying a number of what is happening. You can call me when you get to that girl.
Oh, okay.
And meanwhile, my daddy is the commissioner of. But I don't want her to know that my daddy is up. But I now told the guy that just tell him that okay, I want to talk to the girl. But when the guy just got the guy just told that about commissioner of that why is it there's just when I'm not talking to my don't have time to talk to me. I don't do that. If that happening, I'm just somehow I don't know. Maybe she still love me or she love me. I don't love me. Just somehow.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
All right, could you repeat that last part? Like I said, you're talking a bit low. If you could speak up a little louder.
Last part is that I asked another guy.
Yes, you asked another guy to meet her and talk to her, but but you didn't want her to know your status, as in what your father does for a living, which is commissioner. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want her to because we both live in the same company. I don't want her to know. But when the guy just said to the girl,
he told her, okay.
And he didn't get in touch. And let me call the person now so that you can talk. Just told the guy that not ready. Not that. Then I don't know what I did. I got to go talk. Now I'm just coming out home.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me understand this now. Okay. Once your second friend went to meet her, and then you didn't want her to know about what your dad does for a living, and unfortunately he revealed it to her, and now she doesn't want anything to do with you. She feels maybe you're using your status to try and win her over. Is that is that your question?
Yes. I don't know whether that's what time or maybe have another thing in mind. I think.
Okay, my brother, instead of going through a proxy, I know you're still in town, right? Is there when are you supposed to leave? When are you leaving town? It looks like we lost that call. My brother, if you can, please call back, because what I was going to say to you was, when I think since you're still in town and your friend who introduced you to said girl is here, instead of going through a friend, why not just go let your friend take you to meet her one-on-one, meet her up face to face? It may seem like a culture shock, but maybe the best way to get the answers you're looking for, instead of hearing he said this and you went through a proxy, because information gets lost when you're not carrying it yourself. Why not go to meet her yourself and talk to her directly? Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening, my brother.
Hello.
Fine, thank you. Fantastic. What's your name and where are you calling me from? Hello.
Hello, evening, sir.
Good evening. Welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
I'm David calling from Abuja, sir.
David from Abuja. Well, I'm in Abuja too. You're going to have to be more specific. Which part of Abuja are you calling me from?
I'm calling from Asokoro.
Asokoro. How's Asokoro this evening, my brother?
Thank you, sir.
Fantastic. Talk to me. What can I do for you?
So there is this girl of mine that we started dating from SS1. So as time goes up, we did it up to, we write work together. So last year, she relocated to Imo State. Okay, so now she came back during Xmas period. So I told her that she was kind of complaining that she don't really understand the relationship anymore. And this girl, as in the girl, has done a lot for me.
Yes.
And I'm this struggling type. I'm a stylist.
Okay.
So I'm still working for a person. I'm not that. At least the girl has sacrificed a lot. As in, if God will permit and nature will permit, by the grace of God, I know I will make her my wife. But things are difficult now. I told myself that since and people are asking her out for marriage and meeting her parents, and she's disturbing me, telling me that she's waiting for me, and some of her friends are saying, I can't take her out, as in buy her things. So I told her myself that if she can find a guy, that's for me now, I'm not yet ready to get married. So if she can find a guy, that's no problem.
Okay.
And she said that I'm pushing her away. And I said, for me now, the time is too far for me. So at least to move on with her life. But I so much love these guys into the call. But now, she changed her line because of me. Changed everything. But my mom knows that I'm dating her. Everybody in our family knows, except my dad that travel. It's not that, but my elder brother, my elder sister, they know about our relationship.
Yes.
My elder sister do know, but now she changed her line. I don't know how I can reach the girl, but now she relocated to Imo early last year. She's in school now, so I don't really know how to do. When I call her, we usually chat on Facebook time to time, but she said that the relationship is a little because that I should just leave the relationship like that. I don't know if I should move on with my. I've already told her to.
But okay. All right. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
So all she's saying that is because of I don't love her anymore. That's why I just said I should go away. But she is not saying it in the other way round. I'm young. I'm not that capable. I'm not ready for marriage now.
Okay.
If she sees the opportunity, I told her that if she sees the opportunity of getting married, no problem.
Okay. It seems like she's coming from a place of pressure. Maybe her family, maybe her friends. You know, the thing is, when women get to a certain age, when ladies or women get to a certain age, there's this societal pressure for them to get married, for them to settle down. Where are you going? You're supposed to start having your children. Of course, they'll tell you your biological clock is ticking and things like that. It seems like maybe that's what she's being subjected to. And for the fact that she's been with you and she loves you, that's why she's putting that pressure on you. But I think you also did the right thing by letting her know, look, to be honest, if I can marry you right now, I would, but I'm not actually ready for marriage right now. And like you said, you told her, look, if marriage is your prerogative and you feel you can't wait for me, then go ahead. But then, since you've given her that prerogative, I don't understand. You shouldn't get upset if you feel if she's changed her number. Oh, look, we lost that call. Okay, David, I hope you're still listening to me. You shouldn't be upset if you feel, if she changes her number and she's trying to move on, because you've given her that prerogative. You've told her, look, go ahead. If that's what you want to do, I'm not ready right now. I believe I've always said this many times. You know that popular saying, if something belongs to you, let it go. If it's meant for you, it comes back to you. If it's not meant for you, then it wasn't meant for you. It wasn't meant to be yours in the first place. Just for me, the best thing for you right now is to just focus on what you're doing and try and grow yourself. When you're ready for marriage, because you don't want a situation where you put yourself in a corner and then maybe you can't take care of your responsibilities as a husband. And I like the fact that you've identified that you yourself are not fully ready to be committed towards that marriage. in the future, in time, if things work out and the two of you get together, fine. If not, then you have to savor the relationship, cherish what was there, and move on and grow with yourself. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Hi, Dickie.
Good evening, my brother. Welcome to the program.
Good evening, sir.
Yes. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
I'm calling you from Pali.
Okay. And what's your name?
James by name.
James from Kwali. How's Kwali this evening, my brother?
Yeah, the other day I discussed with you.
Okay.
With, somebody to partner with.
All right.
And you said I should send my details.
Yes.
I think I did that.
Uh-huh. Yes, you did.
And even today, for a reminder, I still send you another text again.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how to.
James, your number, your name, and your details I received, and I acknowledge the fact that I've received them. And I've also acknowledged the fact that I've put them into our database. You see, we have this database that we're creating, and when you want that hookup, we'll put it there, and we'll also, based on what you've written, based on your name, your number, and your preference, the kind of person you're looking for, we'll try and find you that best match, and then see how we can link you up or hook you up with that person. So right now, looks like we lost our call. Right now, James, that's what is happening. Your number and your name are in the database, and as soon as we get the right match for you, we will hook you up and send you the details. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
My brother, could you please turn down the volume of your radio set so that you can communicate with me properly and I can do the same? Is that okay?
Okay. Hearing me now.
Aha, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Welcome to the program.
Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
I'm Sham. I'm calling from Apo.
Sam from Apple. How's Apple this evening, my brother?
It's chill.
Fantastic, fantastic. Talk to me. What can I do for you?
Really, I have a program, a little program. I have a girl which I was dating her for the past 7 years. So we get a problem and we divorced. After 7 years, we came back and met again. So she went back to school. After she finished school, she came and met me in Abuja, telling me that she's back from school. She has her result and she's looking for work and she's ready for marriage. And me again, I told her that really I'm not ready for marriage. My families are disturbing me to get the wife for them. So when this girl came back now to my life, I accepted her. But there are some kind of things which I get to understand that she's not telling me the truth. Sometimes I will tell her, okay, I'll call you by 5 o'clock. When I talk to her, I'll tell her, okay, I'll call you by 8:30. So I even told her, let her just listen to this heartbeat program so that she will learn from it because I learn a lot about it. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
So I talked to her about this. So finally, hello?
Yes, I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
So finally now, like today, I told her, okay, I'm going to call you. So when I call her, it's like she's with somebody and she didn't want to tell me that please and please that she's going to call me. She's going to flash me, then I'll call her back. Luckily enough, this is 11. I called her before I started trying to call you now.
Yes.
So I called her. The phone was ringing. She didn't pick. And this is not the first time. This is not the second time. Several times, this is what she's doing to me. It's like she's hiding something under the grass or whatsoever. I didn't understand. That's why I said, let me call and tell you all this. Let me just so that you put me through.
Okay. Well, okay. It does sound a bit suspicious, especially for the fact that maybe you make that kind of arrangement. But then, let me just give her the benefit of the doubt. This is a late night program. Some people, maybe they get tired and they fall asleep, or they just can't keep up, and it's one of those things. But I think if it's something that you are not, that maybe there's something you're suspecting or something that feels fishy to you, you might want to just address it head on. If you feel that maybe she's with somebody, you might just want to just ask her, okay, is there someone else? Because there was a 7-year gap. And a lot can happen. A lot can happen in 7 years.
Yeah.
And of course, there's no way in that 7-year period that you didn't date other people and maybe she didn't date other people. Now,
Yeah.
if the two of you have now come back together and have agreed, you know what, we're coming back together, we want to get married, we want to be in a relationship, that means other connections, of course, they're going to be there, but they're put aside for the present relationship. You have to now get to a point where you have to start rebuilding that trust, rebuilding that relationship, because in 7 years, a lot has happened. You have grown as a person. She has grown as a person. You have seen things and experienced things. So has she. So you have to I think the best advice I can give you is to just be cautious. Take your time, because it's like you're relearning that person. She's not the same person she was 7 years ago. And so are you. You're not the same person. So take your time and get to know her again. Re-know this person. Learn, who she is. Learn who she is. And then ask yourself whether you really want to. Is this person now that I know this person, is she really the person I want to spend the rest of my life with? Is this somebody that I feel comfortable in sharing a future with? Not because your family is pressuring you or she feels she's also ready for marriage now and that kind of deal. Because marriage is not about that, the ceremony. It's not about how far. It's about how well. How well do you live together? How well do you communicate? How well do you bond? So I think take this time now to get to know each other properly again. Reintroduce yourselves, because you're two very different people. You've grown up. Things have happened. Reintroduce yourselves and start to date again. Know each other again. Grow it, and then you'll know whether this is the person you want to settle down with or not. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my brother.
I'm sorry. The last thing again is that before I even met her, she was having problem in her family.
Yes.
As in, one of her family members mistakenly pregnanted her.
Wow.
So it's not going to be a matter of something. But I'm talking to you as of now. The guy is not more available. He's not alive now.
Okay.
He's not more alive now.
Yes.
So the pressure in the family, they know me in the family. They know my parents. My parents know them. They know her. So the pressure was, hey, you have to marry this girl. But it's not that I don't want, but at least let me know who is she, because
exactly
there's something she do.
Exactly.
And, because when I was in the village, really, let me just tell you this, I smoke. Okay? So when I came to Abuja, I changed my life.
Yes.
I became born again.
Okay.
So when she was in the village, she don't drink, she don't smoke, she don't do anything. But when she's in Abuja now, when I met her, she told me that, hey, so you now, you are a born again Christian. I say yes. So the only thing, she opened her mouth and told me that, hey, I take small stout sometimes. I said, what?
Exactly. You see, that's
what?
That's
So
the point.
It makes me to sound some kind, even some to think as if there is something going on with this girl. So that's why I said, let me ask you so that you put me through.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. She's not the same person that she was before, and you're not the same person you were. People change. So take your time. Nobody can pressure you. Nobody can tell you must marry. In the end, it's your choice. You can choose who you want to marry or not. So if this is the person you want to forge a future with, take your time. Get to know her again. Date her again if it takes that. Get to know her again, and then decide whether, I really want to spend the rest of my life with you, or I don't think two of us can work out. There's nothing wrong there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you.
All right. Have a pleasant evening, okay?
I have to too.
All right, then.
Bye-bye.
Okay. The number to call still remains 081 8999 1011. And of course, this is Heartbeat, and my name is Bucci, and like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening, my brother.
Good evening, sir. My name is Adams from Guarimpa.
Adams from Guarimpa. How's Guarimpa this evening, my brother?
Everything is fine, sir.
Fantastic. Talk to me. What can I do for you?
So I have a lot of problems now, a big problem.
All right. Talk to me.
Since from this year. Although I started a relationship since 2009 with a lady, where I was in SS2, she was in JS1. So we started
SS2 JS1.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay. Go ahead.
So we go through that relationship. So it was. I just want to tell you how it takes start.
All right.
We hide it from our parents. Though she was a little girl. Although when I saw her, I just admire. I said, "Oh, this is how it is, and this is what are my feelings." She said, "Okay, there's no problem. We should continue." But anything sexy, there's nothing. I said, "Okay, I accept it." So since then, I finished the school. I went to the school on her side. One called a place called Jagindi, where I schooled there. I finished. When I came back, I left the place and I came back to Abuja. So from 2010, where I graduated, I finished my secondary school then, and I came back to Abuja. We couldn't meet till 2013, and I got admission to the NCE. So I went there. We started a relationship again, which led me to introduce myself to her parents, which I did. We do all necessary things which they expect me to do as a lady. And then she never knew my house. She never knew my parents. So we keep on going. So in order for me, why did I not take her to my parents? Because I want to see her seriousness.
You want to see her what?
My father is her seriousness on the relationship.
Okay, all right.
Where we keep on going with the relationship. It's because of a recharge card that I don't have. I explain from the starting to the end.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to do, I just want to brief it for you.
No problem. Go ahead.
Where I do all things in order for me to capture her mind. All her attention was in me. But later on, last year, June, she said she's traveling to Kano. She wants to go and stay with one of her brother, her uncle. When she went here, she stayed there at Kano. Not knowingly, she had another guy there. So she said she's coming back for Christmas. I say, no, I'm not coming back for Christmas because my boss will not allow me.
Okay.
And I seek permission from my boss. My boss now give me time on New Year, which I traveled. She now came to my place. But not knowing that all my thought, my mind is on that lady. And I said I want to take her to my mother and to present her to my mother that this is a lady that I want to settle down with. By God's grace, I'm planning for my wedding.
Yes.
Not knowing that that girl, the same girl, she came to my house. After she came to my house, the Christmas, she go back on thoughts. After she go back, she said, if I'm going to Abuja, I should branch her place, which I do. She said, we have a serious talk. When I reached there, she now says, there's something she wants to talk to me. I said, okay, I'm hearing you. She said that actually she cannot hide from me. She took it for someone. I said, what do you mean? She said, she's pregnant by someone. I said, wow. So you took someone pregnant to my own house and through my mother? As in, why did you tell me before coming? So, so I was upon all the hope I have for that lady, upon all the trust I have for that lady, I just confused up to now.
Wow.
Now at the end of it, what she said, she's aborted the baby. And now she's in school. She went back to school. So I don't even know how and where to start. I don't even know the. Now what she's asking me that it was a mistake according to what she said. That the guy, his own job is to use charm. Whenever he talks to a lady, the lady will agree. After you do what you want to do with the lady, then he will not leave her. According to what she said, when she was pregnant, she called the guy that she didn't see her menstruation. The guy said she should just check it. She said, okay, she has checked it. The guy said, okay, now, waiting concern him. He doesn't have the time. So at that particular moment, the time she told me that, yes, she was pregnant. And I said, okay, now if I get annoyed, maybe this guy, it will lead her to problem. Because due to her reaction then, I said, okay now. She said, please, I hope I will not dodge from her. I said, I will not dodge. At that particular moment, we try to control everything. It's going to be between the two of us.
Yes.
I said, okay now, if this is what happened, let me consult your mother. She said, no. We should just talk to we talk. It reached a stage whereby I cannot call it only me, because that then I spent 2 days because of that issue in her side.
Yes.
So after then, and I told her mother, because the thing was getting out of my hand. I cannot almost no longer control her due to the way she was reacting.
Okay.
So I told her mom, this is what happened. Her mom said, okay now. After I told her mom, I said to me, I'm going to Abuja. And I left there, I came back to Abuja. Knowing that I came back to Abuja, she called me that she has aborted the baby. I said, okay, I aborted the pregnancy. I said, oh, that one is for you and your God. But I don't know. What are you seeking from me now? She said, please, I should ask, and she's asking me for forgiveness. Forgive her upon what she has done. That she will not repeat it again. I said, well, who am I not to forgive someone? I will forgive you.
Yes.
But, all the rest of, all my hope and my everything lies on your hand. As I'm talking to you, my mom and my parents, at the time she came to my house, she came to my place, all my family, everybody in my family accepted that lady.
Okay.
One of my even senior brother asked me, even if I don't have money, he will sell one of his cow to go and pay for their bride price. I said, well, I thank you. Just please exercise patience. Whenever I'm ready, I'll come to you. I just present her to you that this is somebody that I'm going out with, that I want to settle down with. But at the end of it, now they don't even know what is happening. Because now I'm almost every day I'm confused. Almost every day. If I'm walking place, I'm there thinking of whenever I remember, I say, hey God, why? How? So I don't know. I don't know what and actually the trust, the love is no more there.
Yes.
That's great. I don't know. Can I accept? I don't even know what. Now she's in school. She went to school. I know that what I'm so scared of. Okay, the same guy already will come and talk to her again. Maybe he's coming back. Maybe she'll get another one there. And I don't just know.
Okay.
And then let me just say one thing.
All right.
There's a lady that loves me to a core, where the love has reached some stage where I cannot even explain. I don't know. Can I go for that lady? Can I give her a chance? Because she'll be asking for the chance, which I did not. I have never given her the chance. I don't know. I'm just confused.
Okay, my brother, I think it comes down to you. If you don't trust, like we always say on this program, a relationship, or the foundation of a relationship, depends on trust and love. If you don't trust this person, I don't think you can have a solid relationship with them. Now, she broke your trust. That is true. She broke your trust, but she told you she's sorry. She's been trying to make it up to you and all that. And according to her, it was jazz. I'm not a jazz man or whatever, but she says it was jazz and all that. But then it comes down to trust. If you don't trust her, you can't have a relationship with her. If you don't trust her right now, you're confused. You don't know whether she's being faithful to you right now or not. There's no trust. You don't trust her right now. And it takes a lot. Trust is not something that you give. Trust is something that you earn. She has to earn back your trust. And for now, the ball is in your court. Now, if you want to continue this relationship, you have to then learn how to forgive her fully, totally, and trust her. But if you cannot trust her right now, with, of course, what she did, you can't trust her, I don't think you can have a relationship with her, because in the end, you will never fully trust her. Every time you keep looking over your shoulder, you're not going to be at peace. And in a relationship, you should have peace of mind. You should be able to trust your partner. And if you can't trust your partner, then I don't think you can have a relationship with her until somehow, some way, she's able to earn back your trust. And if you're not willing to, trust her, or that trust is not gotten back, then there's nothing. I don't think you can have a relationship with her. That's the God honest truth at this point in time, especially for the fact that you do not seem to trust her right now. And it's understandable. She broke your trust. That one is normal. But if you can't exhibit or let go of that pain, then I don't think you're just, I think the two of you need to do her a favor and you need to do yourself a favor. You need that space. You need that separation. You need that time apart so that you can heal and get yourself, and she can also maybe with this act be better and grow from this experience. But the truth is, if you can't trust her, you can't have a relationship with her. I don't think you can.
That's it. I think I have to open to her, right?
Yes, you have to be.
Now,
You have to be plain and tell her the truth, because at least I applaud her. Kudos to her for telling you. Some people will not even tell you. It just shows you how much she truly respects you and cares for you, because she was so afraid and she even still came out to tell you. So you have to give her that kudos. But right now, you don't trust her. So I don't think it would be fair for you to have a relationship with her or her to have a relationship with you, because in the end, if there is no trust, then you can't. If you're willing to, okay, you know what? If you're willing to say, you know what, I'm willing to try to make things work, then it's something that both of you will need to work on together continuously. But if you're not and you can't trust her, then you can't move forward.
Actually, as of now, because every day I remember her intention.
I understand.
That's the truth about it.
You
Understand? So this is a lady I so much trust, believe. You know, that's the Bible says you should not put your trust on man, because it can fail you at any time.
Of course.
So I put all my trust on, when I talk of a friendship and a relationship, I came to this town, I settled down because I'm looking for I'm hustling ahead of my spiritual.
Yes.
Praying for about my future. And this is so I don't know whatever comes as in.
Yeah, I think this is something you need to work on with her. If you can't trust her, then you can't have a relationship, because in the end it's going to just fall apart. Imagine you marry this person and every day you don't feel that trust. It's gonna fall apart. So I think you need to have that sit down and have this conversation with her. You need to really talk it out, and then maybe from there you get perspective on what you want to do. But my part, what I'm telling you is, right now it doesn't seem like you can trust this person. You don't trust her right now, and if you can't trust her, you can't move forward and have a productive relationship with her.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'm grateful.
All right, my brother, thank you so much. All right then. Okay. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that will be my last call for the evening. I want to thank the production crew of Baba K and Desmond. Baba K is in the IT department and Desmond is in the visual department, for streaming us live and making me look this good. You can actually follow this program on our social media pages. Go to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Periscope. Just type in Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, leave a comment. You can download the Human Rights Radio app from the Google Play Store and listen to us anywhere on the surface of this planet. I want to thank everybody who called in to share their thoughts, and I hope that we here on Heartbeat have been able to prefer you with the solutions that you need towards enhancing and promoting better love, unity, and understanding in your relationships. My name is Buchi, and like a deck of cards, I am your Jack of Hearts. Let's do this again and pick this up from next week. But before we go, I want you to always remember there is only one happiness in this life, and that is to love and be loved. Good night, everybody.